Today is December 27th, 12:03 a.m. It's warm in here, and I'm wearing three layers of clothes. And I had I had a fish sandwich from West Side Drive-In. Delicious, delicious. I bought two sandwiches. The second one, ribeye. It's in the refrigerator. I'll eat it tomorrow for lunch. After I'm sure that I am certain that somebody who has uh, a connection with other people who are professional day traders probably got to this point already. But for me, studying alone and watching these YouTube videos as a viewer instead of interactively acquiring information, it required me to it required me to obtain my own experience to become aware of what these professional day traders are talking about. Today, I made a confirmation uh, by listening to this 29-year-old day trader, and he's been a day trader for 8 months, and he's confirming the thesis that I have finally come to, which is a realization that professional day traders now have pocket full of setups that they use, and only when those setups, it's logical, isn't it? It's logical. It's now that I look at it, it's logical. Why would anybody trade on a whim or or enter a trade when they're not aware of the possibilities? And so what these professional day traders do is only enter when the setup is recognizable. And even with that, that setup may not be exactly the setup that they're looking at, and therefore the setup can reverse from their thesis, and that's why the stop losses is there in order to save themselves from the thesis being reversed. So today, after having thought about these things about day trading, and I've come to the conclusion, and based on confirmation of these videos of professional day traders, and they have been saying the same thing over and over again, and yet I was not able to hear them because I was obviously preoccupied worrying about money instead of tactically thinking about how to day trade best. So this particular day trader talked about that he is able to, based on one of his setups, he's able to differentiate between a really good setup and a not so good setup, because he may be observing certain parameters that he's looking at, like 4 or 5 supporting independent data points that suggest that his setup is a higher quality setup. And so he's able to distinguish between the highly profitable setup and something that may be a mediocre type of a setup. So it is a confirmation of the conclusion that I have made that professional day traders are in the uh, are in the actively in the process of acquiring, studying, and enhancing and becoming intimately aware of each the setups that these professional day traders have, such that they only enter when that setup is there, and do not enter when the setup is not there. I have come to this conclusion after having spent from year 2000 to now, which is roughly about 22 years. When I initially started dabbling in it, just buying shares and holding on to it, and then adding margin to it, whereupon when the stock retraced, my account would be like blown away. Now, in the past 17 months of full-time day trading, it has taken that long for me to realize that you only trade when the setup is there. So essentially what novice day traders do is because this is gambling. It's gambling. So what the novice day traders do is, because first of all, they don't have a setup. The second part is they're not able to wait for that setup. And therefore, that combination causes the novice day trader to sometimes make money. But when the trade goes against it, they have acquired certain skills to risk a certain amount that equals 1 or 2 weeks or a month of gains to be eradicated on a 1 or 2 or 3 trades. So this is something that's different between a novice day trader and a professional day trader, and that distinction is professional day traders only trade when the right setup that they are focused on appears in the market. They don't trade if the setup is not available in the market. But the novice day trader trade willy-nilly. That is the distinction. This is a let me just say this. At work, and I know my coworkers will think that I'm a weird guy, but right now I keep my head down and I work. I just work. And I know that it looks odd that I do that, but I need to work. And may God allow them to understand. They shouldn't do that to customers, but I just go there to work. Because it is so important for me to work and focus on the job, and then keep my inner bubble intact without getting involved in whatever they're doing. Because whatever they're doing, when I interact with them, I could bring it out into day trading and cause me to do something to my account. So right now, may God understand the whole purpose of me going to washing dishes and prepping is just to prep and just do things, get it done, and prepare as best I can so that I can focus on day trading. That is a win-win situation. Win-win situation. The sooner I become consistently profitable, I would take that education and that experience, and great things will happen. Until then, I need to be a bit weird, and I need to focus on my evening job, get things done, get it done quickly, and then just skedaddle out of there so I can study. That's what I need to do. I cannot be bamboozling or small talking or create some sort of a long-term relationship at this point. Right now, I am a 53-year-old and time is running out. I know it. As I was working today, I thought about my car It's boy, it's got a lot of miles on it. I don't know how. I'm thankful that God's allowed me to have that car. So the clear distinction between a novice day trader and a professional day trader is um, essentially waiting for the setup. Essentially, it's waiting for the setup. That is the clear distinction between a professional day trader and a novice day trader. Essentially, that's it. Setup. A clear distinction between a novice day trader and a professional day trader is because if you only trade on the setup, then you're a professional. If you only trade with your setup, then you're a professional. Because you'll always win. Even if the thesis is incorrect, then the stop loss will save you. So that's it. That is the clear distinction between a professional day trader and a novice day trader. This is something that I cannot talk with because there is not a consistently profitable day trader that I can sit down and talk with all day and look over his shoulder for about a month. Let's put it this way. If I can sit next to a guy who is consistently profitable and watch everything that he does from morning up to evening, then I can record it and figure out what the person is doing and record everything that the person does. Then I can mimic what he does and I would have a fast track towards becoming a consistent profitable day trader. But right now, what YouTube provides is just studies. These are people who are saying, okay, this is what I do, but they don't actually go into the step-by-step process of describing how professional day traders actually perform these things for months. Okay, so that is something that is missing. That is something that's missing from these YouTube descriptions.